Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Boy, do we have an unusual and classic one today. Bill sent this one, and this is actually a Vom Hofe reel. Vom Hofe, his reels were known for quality. This one seems to be engraved to B.J. Fairchild, which would not have been unusual. Has a patented date of 1883 on it. It is a direct drive reel. This may be a early drag. Vom Hofe was one of the first to come up with the star drag. And, this spool is dead stuck. So we're going to try and do a little bit of diagnosis and repair on this one if we can. If not, we're just going to get a look inside and find out what's making this reel work. Looks like we'd have to take the handle off. And, if you like these kinds of videos, I would encourage you to subscribe to my channel. And if you do subscribe to my channel, please use that notification button. It'll tell you when I'm posting videos, and every now and then an unusual one like this will come up. I'm thinking I got to remove the side plate one way or another, one side plate or the other, or maybe both. So we're going to start here. I believe that's either a Bakelite side plate or a hard rubber side plate. And interestingly enough, as I'm looking through here, I'm seeing straight through. So this ring and this ring that would belong on here appears to maybe this was probably poured into the ring, and possibly that material has shrunk over time. I think this is going to unscrew. Yeah, this is going to unscrew. And as we do a kind of a look into the reel itself, well, one of the things you want to do is test along the way. So is the handle maybe jamming on this? Nope, that spool is still dead stuck. This has got a nut on it that turns, but I'm not sure that's going to release anything. Maybe. Let's see if we can get the side plate off and what happens with that. This I've already kind of checked to see what I'm going to need to remove this. And it's a very thin slot in the screw. Well, one of the things I'm noticing as I go to remove this, there's a lot of tension in this reel. Actually, it started removing the screw from the other side. These are kind of interesting screws. Certainly don't want to lose those, so as we do this, we're going to put those into a parts tray. And while I'm doing this, I want to encourage you to subscribe to my channel if you like the art of reel repair. If you'd like to see how reels are made, understand a little bit about fishing reel history, know a little bit more about the manufacturers, and a little bit about why they're known in the industry one way or another, then this is probably a good channel for you. I try to explore all of those just to kind of answer the questions that, I would have asked myself. So I'm kind of working around here. There's 2 posts to each one, but I'm sort of taking one out of each, just leaving the tension on there for a moment. And I'm putting those into a parts tray. Well, with the 4 removed, we're still stuck. So let's kind of move the second group through. We'll take the reel seat one off. I'm kind of curious what's going to come off with this. All right, now this screw is different, or appears to be different. It's thicker thread-wise than the others. So there's 2 of those. You want to put those aside. Those are the reel seat screws. I'll pull this one. Now we got the 3 more of those cross-post screws. So 6 cross-post screws in total. This one doesn't look like it belongs in the reel seat, but it's not holding to a cross post, so I'm just going to leave that. Not sure what that screw is holding at the moment. And if you're not sure, one of the things you might want to do is just kind of leave it in place, the old let sleeping dogs lie, for a moment, until you figure out what it is. All right, there's a lot of separation going on here as I remove the screws. That's usually tension somewhere in the makeup. So it may have to do with this adjuster here. But right now we're going to remove the last one, see what happens. Hopefully nothing but good things. It's hard to find information on these reels. All of those are out. Let's see if we can remove the side plate. Well, we can. And interestingly enough, there's not much going on here, is there? So let's turn that wheel, find out what's going on there. All right, so this reel is controlling pins. There's 2 pins here, and as you crank the one way, the pins are moving this assembly out. So that would be a drag because we have the 2 rubber spots on each. As you crank it in, it removes them, lowers it down for less drag. Well, we're still stuck. Isn't that interesting? The spool is stuck on the other side, which is something I probably wouldn't have figured. But hey, it can happen, right? So the real drive by itself would simply be this handle tightening all the way down. That'll hold it on, and that should drive the reel. Again, we're still stuck on the other side. So let's go find out what's going on that side. This is always fun to explore these reels and try and figure these kinds of things out. I think the only option I have here is to pull the side plate off here. And I don't understand why this is not moving as I would have hoped. Well, here we go. And actually I can put the other side back on. Why don't I do that? We know that there's not an issue on this side. So let's put these back on. Try and figure out, that way it'll hold all of these little cross posts and that. Well, this is an interesting one, but if you have questions on this reel or any reel in particular, leave those questions in the comments section. I'll try to answer those for you. And I won't necessarily have all the answers. I don't have the answers to this one, but it's kind of fun to explore it. High-priced, very collectible reel, stuck. So I thought it might have been tension on the side plates here, but it's not that. It's the other side. So a lot of what you're doing when you're doing a reel for service and repair is you're doing some diagnosis. Just trying to figure out why the reel failed. In a lot of modern reels, it's kind of easy. It's anti-reversed, it doesn't work. A lot of times the owner will tell you, hey, here's my problem. It's noisy, it's binding, it's something. In this case, there's nobody to talk for this reel. All right, I'm going to put these back in so I don't lose them. And I know there's nothing I need to do on that side. All I have on that side over there is the direct drive that's just going to turn the spool. And I have the adjuster there, which is going to be the pressure that it's putting on the spool to retain pressure on the spool to eliminate backlash or release the tension on a spool for casting. But the tension is on the other side. So we're going to try and remove the other side plate, and it should pull the spool out if it's the spool that's stuck. And I'm not sure what we'll be able to do at that point, but hopefully that detaches like this one did, and we have a better look inside. We're going to leave the handle off because you can't remove the spool with that handle attached. But overall, this is a survivor. I guess what we found out is that screw below there is holding that little arm that comes up here. That might be a click ratchet. All right, let's try this side. There's a lot of tension on this side. Both sides of this reel want to come apart, which means that there's probably some kind of spacer or tension or something going on in here that's pressing it out. Same idea here. Take those screws out and alternate them where you have these double cross members. Then know that these two are thicker. So I'm using a micro screwdriver for this because the slot is so thin. Always make sure that you match the thickness of the slot with the blade. Anytime you use one that's well thinner than the slot, you risk butterflying it. And of course, in something this age, you're not going to find that replacement anywhere. All right, a couple more to go. We'll just go around this side again. And originally I thought maybe it'd be this, but this is riveted in. So we're not getting stuck there. You can't remove that. And there's no gears in this. It's a direct drive, which is why the handle just goes right to the spool. Well, that's the last one. Kind of answer what's going on here, maybe. All right, well, the spool is still in here. All right, so it's curiosity, because the spool, when you relieve that, you're okay. I'm wondering, can it just be that it was dry with lubrication? I don't know. Put a little lubrication on there. I'm going to use fishing reel grease. You know, a part that touches anything. This is actually a click ratchet. It's not a gear that's going to drive the spool at all. And let's see if we can get this thing to turn. Well, you know what? If I was to guess, and I'm not an expert at this, if I was to guess, I believe this rubber plate has expanded, or contracted actually. We were showing that before on the other side where the hoop was coming out. I think that what's happened in this is swollen, and it's causing this to hang up. So, what do? Let's see if we can work it through here. I'm just going to be real careful here and just see if I can't, if there is anything here, knock it off. There could be a burr in it or something. But that would be my guess, is that this has shrunken, is putting the pressure onto the spool. Very interesting. Not by itself. It's tight, but it's moving. So sometimes it's just a matter of just wearing it, right? So let's put the handle on. Do that without the attachment there. And do that a couple of times there. I don't want to get creative and go shaving things. One, that's not my expertise, and two, on a reel like this, you don't want to crack anything, that's for sure. All right, well, I'm going to set this aside, go get a cup of coffee, and come back and think about it. Okay, I'm back from my cup of coffee and giving it some thought, and I truly believe that the issue with this one is that the side plate has shrunken, just like we saw the evidence of the shrinkage on the other side. And, well, I made a bold gamble here to try and go back and do a little bit of retrofit, if you will. I wanted to scrape the sides of this and see if where it was shrunken, if I could get it to turn more. So I sprayed it with some penetrating oil, used the tip of my razor knife in the channel, and just lightly did a scraping to see if I couldn't remove any burrs, or maybe there's evidence here. There's a little bit of the siding that came off. Now we want to test. Well, I've got it turning again. So I think the hypothesis is correct. The issue was probably in the shrinkage. And I was probably able enough to remove it enough that, well, I got it turning again. Let's go put the handle on, give it a, hold it in and see if there's an improvement. Well, it turns. Yeah, I'm not going to say it turns as free as the day it was made, but it is turning again now. There's still a high spot in there somewhere. I'm not sure where that is. And, well, let's put it back on the reel, see if it has any action whatsoever. I think this is probably going to be a shelf sitter for Bill, but let's go ahead and put this back in, see what happens. Put a little bit of grease on that where it's going through the one position. This is always fun because it's right on the pin. Okay, let's grab that. Bring this back in. Seat it. And I still don't like that it's so much of a gap there, but I'm not sure there's anything I can do about that either. So my second hypothesis is that when these were shrinking, they also shrunk in or out. Trying to find the two for the base. There we go. So let's go ahead and reassemble, see if anything happens differently. Or it may just be that it's stuck. And I think if nothing else we've learned is the shrinking side plate. It's the case of the incredibly shrinking side plate. Now, of course, more modern stuff, this might be rubber. The more modern materials, they wouldn't shrink, they would probably crack instead. But in this case, I think we've got something that over 100 years has just become shrunken. All right, let's get these back in. Take a look at the top side here. You want to move these back and forth, alternating your patterns here. You want to keep equal tension on these. So I did the bottom, so let's do a top one. I'm going to put this to a side. I think what we're going to find is we're going to have side plates swelling not only up and down, but in and out. And I think that's probably the cause of the issue here. And I don't think there's going to be anything left to do other than some kind of honing device. But I think at this point, the age of this reel, you're taking any kind of chances with it. Probably 50-50 that the reel just breaks. Beautiful reel. Nice design. I've never been inside of one of these. Nice to see. A couple more, and we'll see what we can do to wrap this up. I guess the first question is going to be, is it even going to spin? Kind of a push fix sort of a thing here with the trying to fix the shaving the side. But I know before I started that was locked in there, and after I started, at least it had a little bit of turning going on. So we'll see. One more screw down here. Let's put the handle on. And we know we have a functional drag underneath. It's a little rubber studded drag. Love the machining on this reel. Okay, we can't turn that. So we're going to conclude this one with the understanding or the guess. Back that off the other way, see if that might make a difference. Yeah, we're going to guess that we've got the swollen side plates here. And, well, short of machining it, I don't have an alternative in terms of getting this reel going again. I guess an alternative, I'm thinking you've got shrunken side plates that are affecting the in and out, and you probably have curved or bowed side plates because of the tension in this, so they've probably warped as well. And again, you shouldn't see, I can see it, it may not be visible there, but I'm looking through the rings here and I'm seeing spaces. So if you're looking that way, holding it up to light, this whole side here has got a place where I can actually run my fingernail through the whole side plate, which that shouldn't be. I'm assuming that shouldn't be. So we're going to leave it at that. And I thank Bill for sending it in. I appreciate him letting me give it a try. I think the diagnosis is accurate. I don't have the correction to that, and I don't have the internal fortitude, I guess, to go in and try and shave these down or recorrect the side plates. So we'll leave it at that. To our first responders and essential personnel, thank you for all it is that you do to keep us safe. I do appreciate it. And to everybody, please stay safe, stay well, and stay watching. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Have a great day.